Welcome back to the Triple Tap Podcast. Today we are joined by Metal Face. No, frick.
My God.
It's not my fault. It's all flipped. All right. You know what? We're just going to do a jump cut. I'm not want to be starting that from over. Welcome back to the Triple Tap Podcast, where the trifecta trio talks tag to you through our computers and the miracle of modern day technology, which has been harnessed, of course, by my good friend here, Metal Face. And then the tag part is handled, of course, by our veteran laser tag player here, Snuffles, world champion. And of course, as always, I am your host, Rockwood, and today we will be talking about...
Oh my fucking God. Guys, it's not happening.
It's Jover, man.
It's so Jover.
We're leaving it in. He's coming back. But just say that we're going to be talking about playstyles and then launch into our recent tag games.
Okay, well, I was going to say, yeah, we're talking about playstyles and arena design, but first, we are going to talk about our week, specifically our last Tag Tuesday we had. Right, fellas?
Oh, I love Tag Tuesday.
Tag Tuesday.
Tag Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know, you guys went to Iceberg without me, and you talked about how much fun you had, and I wasn't there. You hinted to it. So what'd you talk about?
Oh, we talked about how you're always comparing yourself to Chaser.
Well,
And we were looking at the stats.
Beat you by like...
And how he always just beats you in MVP. By
Slightly.
he's simply
better.
better.
This is going to be the first thing he says is that Chaser's one above him in the average MVP. And sure enough, next day when we saw you, that's the first thing he said.
You're like, man, God, Chaser's always one above me, and then
God,
Down and I
Jesus,
just looked at each other. We
Chaser,
just,
if you're listening to this, you're a better player, but I'll beat you one of these days.
Yes,
yeah,
because
don't hold your
all that
breath, kid.
matters is MVP. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah,
that's true.
Nothing else matters at all.
Which is why you should base your playstyle off MVP. That's what we're here to tell you today.
Yeah, that's
if your MVP is not getting high, then you should just quit laser tag.
If you're not number one at your site in every type of MVP, you should just quit.
If you have even so much as one bad game, just leave.
Speaking of,
which perfectly segues into your heavy game from the other night.
Yeah.
I feel like we should start that.
Jamie,
that was quite.
Did I pull that up?
yeah, Jamie, pull it up.
Which game was it?
Oh, this is Love.
We don't care about them.
Or
give us St. George.
Yeah, it's Game 4.
I'm just kidding. We love you, Loveland. Thank you for hosting the Mega Members Nights trademark.
Oh, what is that stinker?
I was alive for 1 minute and 31 seconds. So I was wrong. I kept saying I was alive for a minute and a half, but it was actually a minute and a half plus 1 second. So, you know.
So,
and I had an MVP above 5.
That's true. I feel like you should walk us through how that game went.
All
You're
right,
only in there for a little over a minute, but what was your perception on what was happening?
Well, I can tell you. Let's start from before the beginning, before the game started, right? How our arena works, just for everyone, so everyone knows. There's 4 corners, right? 4 colors: red, green, blue, yellow. Right? Simple enough. Red starts in red, and green starts in green. And the heavy, before the game starts, the heavy picks whether they want to take yellow base or blue base. And I usually pick blue base because it's in like a cave, right? And it only got like essentially 2 entrances, so it's more defensive versus yellow, which is like raised and has some shorter walls. It's much more offensive, but you can see yellow from like pretty much anywhere in the arena. So it's I usually pick blue because I'm very tall and I stick out like a sore thumb when I play heavy. But I've been trying to change up my playstyle, so I say we're going yellow. And what usually happens when I play heavy is I win the trade, maybe I beat him back for a second or two, and then what happens is I lose it anyways. So I look to my team, and I'm gonna call out I'm not gonna call anyone out. I looked to some players and I said, all right, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go yellow, okay? And I knew Logan was my enemy heavy. So I'm like, I'm prepared for a fight. I want yellow. The second, if I beat him in a trade, everyone come in and back me up, right? The second I beat him in a trade, I want you guys to run in as fast as you can so we can hold yellow. And what happens is the game starts. I see Metal Face here running towards yellow. And I beat him in the trade. And I'm like, great.
It was
now
instant.
I move on. Thank you. I did see you. I actually did a jump shot to try and shoot you, but I missed. And then I came around the side and then got you anyways. So that felt pretty good, at least. And so I'm like, all right, everyone follow me. Come in. We got yellow. This is the part where you back me up. And then I shot Dallin, I believe. And got a reset. Yes. And then, no, I shot you and then I shot Vulcan. And then I traded with Dallin. And then that's
Dallin
when you
shot
came
you
back
down.
online.
Yeah.
No, we traded initially. I went down. And then I popped back up, and then I put 2 in.
Okay, that's happened because I remember
I called out. That's when I called to you because you were right there, Logan. I was like, "Hey, heavy's down."
That's when I took the base.
Because I kept you down, Logan. I got like at least one other reset off you after I got you down.
I was at 4 lives when I finally took that base. So.
Yeah, and then my team, they just never came in yellow, and then you guys were flooding yellow, and I'm suddenly that I'm down, and then I get down again. I'm like, hey. All right, I told him if I do lose yellow, I'm gonna fall back to blue. I'm not gonna fight too hard for it. Like if we lose it, like I'm not gonna die out here. That's literally kind of what I said. I'm not gonna die trying to take yellow. Which, anyways, so I'm like, okay, cool. Well, at least even if they didn't follow me in, at least they know that like if yellow's lost, like we're going straight to blue. And so I find my way to blue, and lo and behold, my team isn't there either, and it's just Dallin sitting there with the missile right up my.
I was a
heavy...
scout, so.
Oh well, I'm sorry. I was looking at you as I got missiled, so like a dog, I just kind of associated it with you. Listen, it was a very chaotic match. I was not there because Plan A had failed, Plan B had failed, and Plan C had all failed. So
let it be known.
Yeah. And this is only like 40 seconds into the game.
How did you get down to 4 lives so fast, Logan?
I don't know I think Chaser heard me say this. I'm like, I'm not losing this bleep base. So.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds like we need to go over being more conservative with your lives, I think.
Disagree.
I would like to say, okay. Are you able to pull up the stats?
Yeah,
our stats for the viewers to see?
Yeah, I can.
You pull it up and go to Bolton's hit diff.
Oh boy.
Ooh, for this game or total?
Not to joke myself off here, but click on it.
Your hit diff right here.
Great. Let me guess. You're gonna compare how many times Snuffles shot me versus I shot Snuffles.
13-1. Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy to get resets when I'm down all the time, but nah, I'm joking, down. You outplayed me straight up. I mean, I will admit, massive skill issue there. My plans failed and I couldn't improvise very well.
It happened.
I would like it also to be known.
Also, I genuinely did not know where my team was. So let's pick it back up. I'm in blue base, right? And my team isn't there. And so I'm like, okay, if my team isn't in yellow and they're not in blue and they're not in red, then surely they must be in green, right? And as it turns out, right, I run over to green and I'm just getting pelted because you guys are literally everywhere. And there's this one newbie scout. Also, Logan, you're still on the LF stats page.
Oh yeah, I know. I need to show you guys something later that I'm going to gloat about, but waiting for you to finish.
Okay. Yeah. Well, don't worry. It won't take much longer. So I'm in green, and my little scout there is, I'm like, hey, where is my team? I am at, like, at this point, I'm literally at, like, 1 life. I'm like, where is everybody? And they're like, oh, they're in blue. And I'm like, okay. All right, well, back to blue then. So go the other way around through Blue Hall. And then as I'm in Blue Hall, I get tagged out. I don't remember where from. I think it was either from Blue or Green Plat. Not too many places you can get tagged in Blue Hall. And I was like, great, there it is. That's the game. And then Dallin told me later, Iceberg, that my team wasn't in Blue, and so it was a fruitless effort anyways.
Well, no, and you should have known because you were literally just there.
Well, yeah, but I don't freaking know. They weren't there, but they, I figured that maybe like we had circled because I went around kind of by red and through the maze to Blue. So I assumed that like we had accidentally like rotated, right? Like they went through Blue Hall and I just missed them. So that's why I went through Blue Hall. It's because I was like, oh, I'm probably hot on their trail now.
See, and this is so lesson number 1, all that matters is MVP. Lesson number 2, never listen to your teammates.
All right, we're gonna get to the thing.
We're getting into the meat.
I'm gonna glow about. Okay, so here in the leader loser boards, I'm gonna sort by MVP for top heavy game. I'm also the second lowest heavy here, 20 to 10.82. But boom, I took third for heavy MVP.
Nice.
From that game.
Yeah, it must be pretty easy to get heavy MVP when the enemy heavy dies out.
Oh, you have no idea. It was really easy. It was awesome.
I actually do have an idea because I went upstairs and watched you guys clean everyone out.
Yeah, so. That's all I have to say. For the very, very first time, I beat Dallin in a squad. I don't know how much it counts.
Now go to average heavy MVP and win rate, and let's see who's number 1.
Now let's calm down there. Okay, let's slow down. That's all I have to say.
Well, good job, Logan. I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy for you. Yeah, you're right.
Were there any other games you want to talk about? The very last game of the night was freaking awful.
I don't even think the stats can convey how chaotic that game was.
No, they can't. They can't. Literally, yeah.
The resupply were like doing Ring Around the Rosie the entire time. Like they were just both teams resupply.
So what happened was everyone was in blue or yellow, which is normally the bases you take, right? But I'm literally seeing everyone besides the resupplies on both teams were in those bases. Everyone. Commanders, heavies, and scouts. And so every time my team, like every time I was playing medic, every time we tried to go to one of those bases, I just get owned. Like I lost 13 lives, I think, in the first 2 minutes of the game. Like, I got down to 13 lives. Like it was bad.
It was a chaotic start.
Yeah, and so there's a point where I was sitting in green and I wasn't getting pushed, and my team kept calling like, Snuffles, come here, and I just kept calling back, no, I'm not leaving. I leave and I die. Like it was.
There was literally a point I was commander and I was about to drop a nuke, and I was talking to Ammo and a scout that were kind of out as I was taking cover, like right by the entrance there. It's just like the, little low wall. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm about to drop a nuke if you guys want to push. And Dallin, all the way from the back, just goes, I'm not pushing. I was like, I wasn't even talking to you. Calm down.
Well, it's because someone else on my team said something to me after you said that, and I went, I'm not pushing.
I thought you were responding to me. I was like, dude, I get it. Like you told me several times, like you're not leaving this base, and I get it. Like,
no, because you said, I'm dropping push, whatever, and then someone told, I won't say who, but someone on my team was like, all right, Snuffles, let's go push. I said, I ain't pushing. I'm at 2 lives. Leave me alone.
Oh, dude, and I was trying to, get them to come to the base. Oh, boy.
At one point, I just took yellow, and I screamed at my resupply to get in yellow, and we held yellow for like 2 minutes. After I left, we lost it, but accomplished there, right? Take it.
Yeah.
All right, should we move on?
Okay, cut that out.
What? Why would you say that? Why would you?
There's the lull.
I'm not editing that out. That's going straight for the voice now.
At least censor it out. At least bleep it out.
No.
Don't just leave it in. You gotta circumcise it.
It's staying in. Anyways, let's move to play styles, shall we?
What the?
All right. Well, since we're already dogging on Rockwood, I guess I'll just switch my mic off. Oh, before I do though, here's I'm gonna explain everything. I'm so glad you asked, Snuffles, and the dear viewer at home, or at work, or in your car, or whatever. I don't even care where you are, as long as you're listening. Like and subscribe. So we came up with a little fun idea for a game where we analyze each other's play styles to the best of our abilities. The catch is that the person being analyzed essentially just shuts up, and the other two essentially like mansplain how you play to you. Just it's good for the player because you get a third person perspective of how you play, and it's fun for the other two to pick apart what they notice about the other player. And since we're all such good friends here, it's like we're like brothers, right? So it's like we know each other.
Making fun of
we know each other real well.
Is one of my favorite pastimes.
We know each other so we've seen each other naked.
We're not getting into that. You should start the game.
We're not getting into that.
That is true.
All right. I'm going to mute myself now. I'm sure Logan's been looking forward to this for a long time. Here we go.
This guy's the most dog.
God, I hate this guy.
The worst part is
I have my thoughts on Bolton's playstyle. Ooh, that'd be interesting if like they deafened too, and then we just talked, and then they wouldn't know what we said until like the podcast.
Let's see what Bolton thinks about that. Seems he.
I don't think he's a. I think he wants to do it. Okay, you should just kick him out of the voice channel. Then we can do this.
Okay. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to do that.
He's gonna unmute.
He's gonna.
We're joking.
We're pulling your leg, buddy. We're not going to do it.
Oh, is he typing?
He's visibly typing.
I am the host.
I am the host.
Not anymore.
Okay.
All right, why don't you go ahead?
Bolton's playstyle he's obviously arena control, right? And you can say that about a lot of players, but he never forgets where a player is, or at least he tries his best for remembering where players are and shooting them with the least possible effort. Like the way Bolton plays is a low effort playstyle, and I mean that in a good way.
It's very Thunder-esque.
Yeah.
I will say he does seem to be pretty bad at keeping track of his own resupplies, but other than that, yeah, I agree.
That playstyle really lends well to Scout, obviously. When it comes to resupplies, I don't know. It gets in your way because I don't like it when you're my resupply. Gonna be real. You try your best, and I can tell. But
to be nice to Bolton for once this episode, everyone at our site, I feel like dogs on him on resupply. Bolton is one of my favorite ammos to play with.
Really?
Because Bolton is a good little boy, and he does what he's told when I tell him to do it. I say, Bolton, go over here. He does it. I say, Bolton, shoot me. He shoots me. I say, Bolton, don't, and he won't. I feel like
I'll give him that.
Yeah. And maybe it's just because he respects me unlike most of our players, but yeah. I don't know. He's a good little kitten.
You could say that. All right, what do you think? I think I have said.
Yeah, that's about it. I think his playstyle works well. Like you said, Scout. I think he does pretty good as commander. Barring that last heavy game, I feel like his heavy is
Yeah,
that's something we can talk about. Is he needs to push more when the opportunity presents itself. That's something he and I have talked about. But
it can be tough to get into a base he's protecting as heavy, but as soon as a distraction comes, like a scout maybe in red, it falls apart pretty quick. And I can't say probably the same for myself as well, but every heavy, that problem except for Dallin, he's perfect.
I didn't say it.
If Dallin's guarding a base, can't get.
Yeah, so Thunderlight, if I had to sum it up.
Yeah. Done?
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see. What has he said? Let's start with the first thing. The low effort with the getting shots at the least amount of effort. That's absolutely true. I just set up shop somewhere where I know I'll have the best angles, and I just do my work, and it shows. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna accuracy, right? Most of the time, I'm not even going for most accuracy. My playstyle, I just happens to, you know, like you can see like my ammo game. Like I was playing like I had unlimited shots and I got like a 90%, you know. I had a great duel with Chaser in red because again, as a scout, like I like to just set up shop, get easy points, and it just works really well. Let's see, what was the second thing you had about me?
I think we talked about resupply.
Yeah.
How do you feel
Resupply,
about your resupply play?
I feel like I recently have been doing all right as ammo. I feel like my ammo game, like Dallin said, like I feel like I've been doing a bit better there. And again, one of the things I feel like I excel at as a player is if you tell me what to do, like I'll trust you. Like just tell me what you want me to do or what to get done, and I'll go and do it. And that's why I feel like I play so well with Dallin and Slaughtermelon is because like you guys aren't afraid. Like you guys understand the game, right? You guys see the whole picture, and you aren't afraid to like ask for things you need, and it's really refreshing because it's like you said, like I know, like if I keep Dallin supplied with shots, right? Like Dallin just burns through shots because he's just wicked at the game. So, you know, keep Dallin full of shots. And if he asks you to go somewhere do something, then you go there and do it, and then you know, chances are you win. So, like it's not that difficult.
So you're a bottom.
You would think one would think it's not
saying.
that difficult to listen to Dallin when he's telling you what to do as a resupply, but
gosh, I wish I had a praise kink.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay. And then let's see. What was that after that? The resupplies.
The heavy. I said it's easy to make gaps in your heavy play if you're distracted.
So, what's funny about Dallin saying I need to like push more is I feel like one of my downfalls as heavy is sometimes I get lost in the sauce, like what Logan was saying. Like, you know, I can be holding blue, but if there's like a scout in red, like, and if there's like no pressure or like if I feel like I could be earning points and I'm not earning points, it drives me insane. And that heavy or that commander / scout part of my brain like starts to like burn, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I'm at more like commander scout at times you push more. Heavy, I feel like you have a pretty decent balance of like you'll push out, but you won't go too far that then it kind of screws over your resupply.
I've been trying to work
on not doing that, but
yeah. But no, it's true. The first game last week, you're like, Bolton, I want you to just go in and like don't even worry about killing the resupply. You know, just get points, set up resets. And I ignored the resupply and tried to do that. I don't know if I did a good job or not. I'm gonna be honest. I just kind of tried to follow where people were, but
was that your commander game?
It was like my first commander game.
My score,
I'm not sure if I top scored, but I earned more than 10,000. I think I earned like 11 or 12,000. I'm not quite sure. I think that's one of the two games that I won.
You got 14K.
Almost. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, no, like you scored really well. Your team lost, unfortunately, but it was kind of a team diff.
Yeah, and that's that the one where I was alive and I got killed at like 15 seconds left on the clock.
No, you survived, didn't you?
No, he died.
Oh no, because Sadie missiled me out because I was at 2 lives and Sadie missiled me out. Yeah, I had one of my nukes canceled as well.
Oof.
I think, right? Didn't I have a nuke canceled?
Nope.
No, okay, never mind. I didn't have a nuke. I remember I was dropping a lot more nukes than I was used to. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you still had 7 medic, which like if you weren't focused on that, that's still good.
I was in their base maybe like once or twice, just because, like you said, that's where they were. But I was not focused at all on on breaking into their base. I was like playing like a scout deluxe. I was just like in the field just trying to score points.
Yeah, I hate you did. You almost had 3K on the next highest person, which was enemy commander. So
good job. Nice. Thank you. So yeah, that's my analysis out of the way. Are you doing Logan next?
Oh yes, that's what she said.
That's what we're saying right now.
Yes.
Okay,
All right, you know the drill. Mute it. Is he muted? Yeah, he's muted. All right.
Logan. I feel like Logan's playstyles changed in recent time.
I would agree.
Logan's biggest thing was he was very all over the place. And that could be really good or really bad. He'd either have super pop-off games where he just completely goes psycho and scored crazy points and just solo win the game. And then the next game he'd do the same exact thing and then he'd die out early or would not score well and would struggle. Recently, to me, he's kind of pulled that in a bit and he's been a lot more consistent, which is good. Consistency is very good.
He's been consistently getting no MVP. Ew! Look at his Look at his scores the last few members' nights. No. On one hand, you did deserve that for making fun of me all the time today. But on the other hand, we do feel bad because you were giving yourself the short end of the stick to give a better experience to everyone else. So thank you for your sacrifice and also get good. See, I would like to interject real quick about Metal Face's playstyle. I've noticed. Please. Logan, you and I are not so different. You see, we both started around the same time. Granted, you've had a little bit more time than I have. But we practiced together. We trained together. And Logan, one of the things I love about you is, like Dallin said, you're scattered across the arena like you're playing Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare difficulty. You're just jumping and dashing all over the place. And it's like, but one thing, Logan, is that for someone so all over the place, your vision is tunneled, out of sight, out of mind. And this is amplified in the sense that, you know, you and I, we know each other very well in real life. I would argue I know you better than just about anyone else, probably. I know you.
Personality-wise and
yeah. And I just know how you think. And it's so much fun because I typically play scout and you typically play 3-hit. And while you're bouncing all over the place and running around, but you have the tunnel vision, right? I, as a scout, Dallin, you guys said, like, I have a very great, a pretty decent awareness of where other players are. And it's so much fun because we'll get in these little duels, these little scuffles, you know, at least much more earlier in our careers. And it's so much fun because you would disappear behind a wall and it's like, you know, he's schmooving, you know, and I don't like to schmoove. So it's like, where can I set myself up to where I can have aim of where I think Logan's going to pop out? And it's like a game of like chess whack-a-mole where it's like Logan's running around and like Logan shoots me, right? His goal is to find a reset. So he pisses off, so to speak. And then my goal is to like come up where I think he's going to pop out and then get a few hits on him when I come back online. And it you know what I'm talking about, right, Logan? The little games of cat and mouse that we'd have sometimes where you just like, I try to guess where you're going to pop out. Yeah, he knows. If you look at LS stats, you can see like the head-to-head, like the players you've shot versus players who've shot you. Logan is the only player I've shot more than 1,000 times, and he's the only player who's shot me more than 1,000 times. Like the next highest is like 600 or 700. Like we just go at it in the arena. So I would say that, yeah, I guess that's my kind of 2 cents about how we used to play a little bit earlier. These days it's a bit different, and you know, our roles are much more varied. But again, playing Logan, it feels like I'm playing almost an equal, except he's always this much better than me. So it's always a fun challenge, especially going heavy to heavy or commander against Logan. Like, yeah, it's good fun. Thank you for all the fun times, Logan. I will admit you are slightly better than me at laser tag.
Slightly.
Just slightly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a player who he kind of reminds me of playstyle wise. Like with you, I said Thunder, right? Can't really think of one with Logan.
Doom guy. Except
It's
he's
tough.
also like a Metal Gear Solid player, because like I'll just like triple tap him in the back. Triple tap. I'll triple tap him from the back, and he just has no idea where I am or where I even shot him from, and he does not care. He has a mission, and he does not care if someone like a pesky little scout hits him. He does not care. He doesn't even try to turn to even look at me. He's just running.
Actually, you know what? No, I figured out a player where he kind of reminds me of. He kind of reminds me of myself now that I think about it. Low key. Because here's the thing. Pull any game from like that we play, Logan is going to be like one of the top 2 with the most like steps taken, even if he's playing like medic or something. He's just constantly moving. I feel like I'm kind of the same in our arena, at least, maybe not as much in other arenas, but in St. George, I am freaking moving constantly.
I hated playing against you because it's like you would appear out of the 4th dimension to just get a reset on me and then warp out of thin air, and it's like does he obey the laws of physics when we walk in the arena? Because he does, like, he came out of nowhere and now he's gone, and it's like no one will, like, down like shows up, like missiles you and is like no one will believe you, and then just disappears and just leaves you scarred.
Teleports behind you.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Because like I will literally, I mean, you've experienced it, especially when I'm playing heavy. I will run all the way across the arena just to reset someone. Like I'll shoot someone down coming into the base, get a reset. I will sprint across the arena just to shoot them again. And Logan's kind of the same way, I feel like.
So Logan will you walk out of a game and you'll find Logan like laying on the ground outside, just going.
It's like I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, very aggressive. I remember
he's been getting better about where he puts his attention,
especially after this last Nats, where where as a scout, you know, it's like you're gonna be playing a lot of games. You can't be wearing yourself out. And the Thunder, I feel like Thunder also helped. You know, you started to get the hang of it, where I was genuinely impressed by watching you play, because you would set up more shots and you wouldn't be sprinting back and forth so much just to get a shot off, or you'd be playing more methodically, and you know, you kind of held back a little bit as opposed to going all out.
Yeah.
And it did show. It did show. Like I remember playing Scout against you during Nats, you and Thunder, and it was pretty funny because I sat in on the lessons, so I knew your guys' tactics of where you were going to hide and wait for the players to show themselves around the ramps or to get angles on the resupply areas in the caves, and I kind of tried to set up shop somewhere where I could get an angle on you guys. Mm-hmm. So, but no, I was genuinely impressed with how well you were able to adapt your play style to Scout in that arena.
I think that's all I have.
Yeah. Yeah, unmute. What are your thoughts, kitten?
Pookie Bay.
Never thought I'd get compared to Dallin. That's too high. I think everyone is mostly accurate. And I don't know if I've said this on stream, but after Nats, I had like an awakening. Like I came to laser tag consciousness, because Nats 2021 was so awful for me that I shut down and I played on instinct. Yeah. And then after 2024, I really started to play. So I'm glad you guys have noticed. It's been quite the journey. So thank you.
Of course. Actually, something I want to ask both of you. Is there a specific player, whether it's from our side or another side, that you've played with or against that, like, since then you've, like, tried to play like? Because I feel like a lot of players go through this.
Tandor. Tandor, from day one,
really
has just been the most insane force of nature I've ever seen on the arena. You can't, like... He goes the 9 feet, like, every single time. and he will get the reset.
Yes, and everyone hates him for it.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to juggle, especially when refs are imperfect. But yeah, and he gets me every single time, and every single time he gets me, I'm like, I think to myself, was that a no? It wasn't a chase. That wasn't 10 feet.
There are some times I was like, where's the tape measure? But no, I agree. I think his biggest strength is chasing and going the 9 feet and like abusing that system. Like Nats 2019, he had, in my opinion, and I mean I haven't been playing for super long, so whatever. The greatest scout performance at any tournament I've ever seen, and that's 2019. He was so much better than every other scout at that tournament. It was disgusting. And since that tournament, I've been like trying to more play that way. I struggle with it personally, but
yeah, it's interesting because you watch him play and you're like, he's pure aggression, but he's not pure aggression when you stop and think it. He's methodical about everything.
He's very methodical, yes.
So I think I was trying to emulate. I didn't quite fully understand it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Because you play similar to him in that way. I feel like he's also, though, kind of similar to Caleb in the sense that they will just bash their head against the wall.
Yeah.
Until it breaks type of thing. And they're both just so skilled individually that it works for them. Whereas for most players, they can't do that.
Shout out Tandor. If you're listening.
Shout out Tandor.
If come back, please play a members night.
Every Tuesday.
4 hours away.
We miss you. Anyways,
I never miss.
It's Talon's turn.
It is Talon's turn.
Okay. And hey, I just want to say, if there's anything you can critique me on, which I hope you have, which there's plenty of things to critique me on, please do.
I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Because I'm far from perfect.
All right. Now this is the fun part where the two learners try to critique the master.
Today we watch as the students become the master.
Is that a Star Wars reference?
I don't know.
I think it was.
Okay, anyways.
All right. So, Snuffles. First, let's just start off with our observations, right? These are just, right? Not critiques, not praises, not anything, just pure observations. What do you expect when you walk into the arena and you're playing against Snuffles?
I'm not saying I expect a perfect role performance, but I expect one that measures up to the situation in a way that helps this team. To a point. Yeah, I guess I just expect a solid performance, no matter what. Whether it's perfect every single time, I wouldn't say that, but solid every time.
I can expect to lose a lot of trades.
Yeah, that is that's a good observation. I don't know if you have like a clock in your head or something, but every time you pull the trigger, you time it perfectly. You know how you can pull the trigger just a little bit before you show your phaser.
Pre-firing.
Yeah, it's like a little pre-fire. Yeah. You have that down to the frame, to the nanosecond. Yeah. I don't understand how you do it. You win the trade on me every single time, and it's not even close.
Like when you're peeking over a wall and you see Dallon's peeking over a wall, it's like that part in Jurassic Park where it's like the clever girl, It's like I can see him and he sees me, but it's not like we're both like ready to draw. It's like Dallon's already won, and I can either pop up and give him that free reset, I can stare him down and try to waste his time, or I can just, save face and just skedaddle somewhere else.
I want to say that's a decision I make depending on what position I play, but most of the time I try to take the shot because of hubris, and
Yeah. No, I try to at least just look at him and try to waste his time, but I don't know. I feel like Dallon will catch on usually, and he'll just leave, or or I'll end up trying to take the shot anyways, and it's just, yeah.
One thing he won't do is bash his head against a wall. If something's not working, either you're gonna yell at your team, and most of the time that gets you nowhere in members nights, right? Because yeah, and then you're gonna try something else, and whether that something else works or it doesn't, or if it was better than bashing your head into a wall, that's debatable. But I think it frustrates you to bash your head into a wall, even if that's the best thing that you should have done.
Yeah, I feel like with Dallin, it's when we've been playing, especially recently, it's like he's not in there to like prove how good he is or like even necessarily improve as a player. Now, just hear me out. I think like Dallin goes in there, and it's like what he was saying. It's like we had a chat earlier, and it's like he's just trying something out. Like Dallin's he's not usually sweating on you. Dallin's just playing, and it feels like he's just like observing. Like he's not playing, he's not fighting. You know, it's not like to the teeth. Like Dallin is in there, and he's, you know, like he's doing well. It's not like he's not trying or anything, but I feel like there's like an ulterior motive. It's like hidden away. That's like you can't quite put your finger on it. It's like you're fighting. It's like you're fighting him, and it's like, what is his game? Because I'm trying to shoot him down, but it feels like he's not like focusing on me, or like he has some agenda or something. I don't know how to explain. Do you know what I'm talking about, Logan?
Yeah. Like the way he plays tells you that you're not important to him.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it. And it's like, dang, okay, like it's how it feels, because you're taking your all, and it's like you're looking at Dallin and he's looking past you.
Yeah, he's looking
at something
not
else.
at you.
And he'll
get a reset faster than you can blink, and he's not even looking at you when he does it.
It's like if he's not focusing his attention on me, it's like it feels like you're missing something, and I feel like that can really kind of even subconsciously kind of dig at you, because it's like, what are you missing? What am I missing? And then, you know, you walk out of there and Dallin has like 5,000 more points than you do. Like there goes one of two ways. Either Dallin is, you know, always tagging me down the whole game and he beats me, or I never see Dallin once and he still beats me. Like I don't interact with him at all. I don't even see him. And I walk out of the game and he has like, you know, 10, 12, 14,000 points. And it's like, where do those points come from? He like just pulls them out of his butt. Like I swear, like there are like specifically, like we've had quite a few ammo versus ammo games, and I'm trying to play third scout. I'm like trying to tag people and stuff, and I don't see Dallin once. I don't see him once, and he's the other ammo. And I walk out, and I'm feeling pretty cocky. I'm feeling pretty confident with like my 6,000 points. I'm like, yeah, I outscored one of our scouts, you know. And Dallin's sitting there at like 11, 12K, and it's like, okay, like I felt like I was tagging people the whole game. I don't know how he like hit that point multiplier. Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy. I will point out like one flaw I've been thinking about.
Okay.
I think Dallin relies too much on his team.
Yes.
When it comes to socials. Like when
if you want to see Dallin crumble, give him a team that won't listen to him, and he will get frustrated, either to the point like you don't give up, but it's to the point where you just kind of don't care as much, and then you kind of do your own thing, and it's not so much about winning, it's just about doing your thing.
Yeah, it's soul crushing to watch Dallin like ask his team for something, and they simply just either don't respond or don't understand.
Because here's the thing, Dallin's at a level that's way up here, and it's hard to get to a level that's up here without having teammates that can kind of, you know, play on the similar or same level, because it just gets to a point where your strategies are too advanced, or you're playing on this, you just have a higher awareness than the people around you, or when you're not being supported in your playstyle, right? It's a very team-based game. When you don't have that team synergy, you're not getting the support you need. It's like you're getting kneecapped, and suddenly, you know, like your playstyle should be here, you know, and it's something that we all feel to a degree.
Yeah.
With these current players.
If I could go further with
for Dallin, it's especially notable where he just kind of falls down here, because suddenly, like okay, maybe not that bad up here, where, yeah, you can tell that, and you'll walk out of the game, and you know, like I never hear Dallin raise his voice, but when he wants
raises it in
something
the
and it's not
arena
getting done, he's
quite a
not
bit.
afraid to. Yeah.
That I would say that even translates so far into like, if the newbies are playing not great, like instead of like getting upset, and it's okay to get upset, of course, maybe just try to teach the newbies a little more. They're trying their best, and I get how it is.
I feel like that's
stressful
something for all of us, though.
Really?
Or I mean, maybe not so much you, Logan. You don't really get.
I really
after
try
them,
to keep to be nice to the newbies. Yeah.
Like I try to teach them, but at some point, it's like, when it gets to the point where they're not newbies anymore and they're still not listening or not, it's like they should know better.
Well, that's different. I'm not talking about those players. That's different.
Okay. Yeah. Brand spanking newbies. It's a difficult balance for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine. I mean, I already get frustrated enough as it is. I can't imagine what it's like being a world champion and then not having a team that can allow you to play to your best ability.
So I guess
if
I had to describe
the
your
most
play
frustrating
style
thing about this game
in like 1-2 sentences, I'd say a solid all-round play style that depends on your team.
unless he's commander.
Yeah, okay.
In which case he will stack 5 nukes to go easy on you.
And turn your ass into grass.
1 minute, 60 seconds left in the game, and he drops them all because he's being nice to you. I don't know. I
think that's all I had to say.
Yeah, it was a sloppy analysis of.
Yeah, a piss poor analysis of Dallin's play style.
Yeah,
where instead of analyzing it, we just think that there's something greater to his play style that we can't even figure out.
I mean, well, there kind of is, because I think I'm doing everything in my power. Like I think I'm doing everything I can. Right? Like sometimes there are games where I'm like, I don't know if I could play it much better. Like you get all the points you can, and you try and and then Dallin just outscores you somehow. It's like, how is it possible to like get that many points in this amount of time? I don't know.
Unsolvable.
All right. Are we good to? Is that it? You can Dallin on mute now.
I just want to say I've been stacking to 5 because I want everyone to get their money's worth out of these games.
I know, and I appreciate it. As a tongue in cheek. It was a tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Reference. Gosh, that's a lot. I don't know where to begin. One, you guys give me too much credit. There's really not much more to it. That's interesting because I think I've reached a point where I've played enough Space Marines and I've been taught how to play it the correct quote unquote way that I don't have to think about a whole lot of what I'm doing. So much of it is purely just based off instinct. And I feel like I've only recently really gotten to this spot in like the last year or two. And it varies. Like when I'm playing in a tournament like freaking Nats last year, dude, oh my gosh, I was freaking sweating with how much I was thinking about what I needed to do and stuff at all times. But for like a social game, like I'm not thinking about that stuff. What I do is I feel like my focus is improving, and it's just always been just getting better. And it's like you said, Bolton, it's hard to improve when we have like doing these social games because we have so many like newer players like that kind of come in and out like a revolving door. So game quality is not very high. So it's like how does one improve with those pieces around them? And that's not to make anyone feel bad in any ways, you know?
Right.
We're not trying to rag on the newbies. We love you, newbies.
No.
It's just when you've been playing for 5, 6, 7 years, and then someone's it's their 5th game of Space Marines. Like, it's just gonna happen. That's just how it happens. Once you play on a team, it's like
it's a different level.
A world class team, and you play on that team.
It's a completely different game.
Yeah, you can't really go back down there and expect, it's just not going to be the same. Simple as. It's like if LeBron James, was playing like a little league. It's just
comparing like it's basketball. Crazy, but I will take it.
LeBron James
Lakers in
plays
5.
us.
All right. Yeah, Magic. It's like Magic Jordan came and played at like a little league, and it's like it's basketball, but like the hoops are shorter and it's easier to dunk, and all the kids weigh 80 pounds. It's like it's just not the same. It's just not the same.
I think that's pretty extreme.
I feel like.
All right.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I feel like that I've been running into that problem quite often. Not that I'm like crazy insanely good, but I feel like I feel like I have the chance to improve my game, to elevate my gameplay. But even like in Nats, like the teammates I'm playing with, it's just I'm just not in the environment I need to be in to improve the things I need to improve on. And it can be quite frustrating when you're still stuck, worrying, like facing the same like newbie problems you had when you started playing. And it's like, I've been playing for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And competitively, I've been playing for like 3 years. So I just feel like you get the gist.
Yeah.
No,
that
go ahead.
That kind of ties into what you guys were saying about me getting frustrated, which like I 100% do get frustrated. And I don't get frustrated at like random players. I would like to think I'm above that. It's more like players who have playing for like a year to 3 years, kind of in that range, who like want to get better and have expressed they want to get better, but when I try to help them, they don't listen. They just don't. That's what frustrates me the most.
That's fair, yeah.
Because it's like I'm trying to help you. Because like I feel like for me, I learned the best. Like Thunder's lectures and everything were great out of game and stuff, and that definitely helps a lot. But for me, I feel like you learn the most in game if you have someone to kind of tell you what to do. Not all the time, but like suggest things. Because then you do it, and then it's like, okay, did this work? Did it not work? And then you can talk about it afterwards. That, to me, is what helped me the most, is when there's this period after my first tournament where we did like set teams for like months. And we did a couple games with those set teams. Every time we played, we did like 2 games at the end of the night.
Was I around for that? I feel like
this was before you.
Okay.
This was before you. Because I had been playing for like maybe 5-6 months when we did. And I was playing Commander, and like Thunder would be watching, and he'd be in the arena. He'd like have an iPad with the scoreboard and stuff, and he'd literally like be telling me either like directly like, hey, you should do this, or hey, these are kind of 2 options you have. Like, what do you think you should do? And then like in game, like in the middle of a game, and then I do it, and then we talk about it, and we talk about why he had me do it. Did it work? Did it not work? Could it have worked? Why? Etc. That I felt like that period was when I just like skyrocketed and learned the most. I've been trying to do that with some of our newer players who have expressed interest in getting better, and it's I should be better about it, but that's what.
To be fair, nothing will fast track your growth better than having a mentor or a teacher who will actually watch what you're doing, give you advice, tell you what to work on, and then follow up on that. Like,
yes, 100%.
That will multiply by orders of magnitude how fast you grow.
100%.
Which is one of the reasons why we're trying to bring back the lessons.
Because like if there's a player who comes and they play just to have fun, that's fine.
That's fine.
They're not super good, they're kind of average. That's fine. But like if you keep telling me and keep trying to get better, and then you don't listen to what I say or my suggestions or anything, that's frustrating. But what else? There's so much you guys talked about.
We did talk about quite a bit.
We could just leave it there, though.
The next one was arena design. Do you think that fits well, or should we just go to advice we would give ourselves?
Like,
I don't know, because what's interesting is like how arenas like shape how players play.
I mean,
right. Like if you play in the Loveland arena, right? You're going to be used to, I think Luke even talked about this on his podcast, like you're used to like just going at it and kill them out of the game right away. But if you put them in more of like a slow burn arena, then it's like, oh crap, like we know, like usually by this time the game is over, like one of the medics are dead, like, you know.
Yeah, okay, so let's go arena by arena then, and I guess I'll just start with our favorite out-of-towners, Loveland.
It's the only arena I've been to that isn't.
And that's why I'm starting with it, because only Dowling can really comment about all the other ones. You could talk about Detroit. I mean, I've heard about Detroit, but I couldn't tell you. I've only ever known the fast game. So,
You want me to take it away?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he was saying.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying you were going to start.
Oh. Here, yeah. I think I'm sorry. I think we should start with our arena because that's where we all have the most experience, and then branch out how we're used to that, and then how that will affect us in other arenas. Because it'd be kind of weird to start with an arena that isn't ours.
That's fine. We can talk about ours.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
All right. Yeah. 3. I don't know. I don't think there's not a ton to talk about this. This is just like an observation I've had. I feel like a lot of players are shaped by their arenas. You know, Loveland, very fast gameplay. You're trying to take the third floor. You're pushing it, and you're
pushing on the first floor. That's fish in a barrel, and you kill them all. You hunt them down and you slaughter them. No survivors.
Yeah, you kick them downstairs. You get resupplies. You go downstairs, and then you kill them out of the game.
I think Loveland can.
That's how the arena works, which is why Loveland players are very aggressive. I feel like
aggressive. It's all about pressure.
And it breeds.
Versus,
I haven't seen like a single Loveland player. Sorry, I'll cut you off. I haven't seen a single Loveland player that's not hungry. Like, that doesn't have hatred in their hearts. Like every single one of them. He's got a point. He's
got kind of a point. Like, I wouldn't go far to say hatred. I wouldn't go far to say hatred.
No, I just mean in the arena.
There is a spark. There is a spark in their eyes when it's like they just like move fast. Like their one goal is just to like move fast, get kill. Like there's no like it's just like kill, move fast, move, kill, you know?
Yes.
And it's very in the moment, I would argue.
St. George can breed players like Thunder and like Rockwood, where arena control is
breed me?
You cut out. Are you muted? I can't hear you, Logan.
I think it's for the best. He just said he wanted to breed me or something.
I don't know what happened there. Anyways, I don't know. Just arena control, obviously in Loveland is still a thing on the second floor, but it's even more so in the St. George arena. So you can.
Well, I think St. George is like versatile enough, more so where it's like, yes, you can play super aggressive, and that's how you get players like me and Tandor, where we're just kind of very aggressive. But then, like you said, you also kind of get players like Thunder and Bolton, where it's like you can play this slower, more like heavy point farming type game. Because I don't like in St. George. Maybe if we did a tournament here, it'd be more obvious. There's no one way to play the game.
No, and I agree. That's why I love our arena so much, is because if you want to play aggressive, you can build it that way. But if you want to play more methodical, like you can hold up in blue base, keep that up, focus on taking red base or green base and holding those, and then just firing, concentrating fire, and then send your commander in to like flush them out.
I will say, I think. Oh, were you saying something?
I was gonna say, yeah, or you could just like 3-man rush them, commander and scouts just kind of run into the base, balls to the wall, and just kind of figure it out.
Is the ideal way to play. Like if we had to host the Nats at the St. George undisclosed site, I would just, and I play commander. All I would do the whole game is I would just be running into the enemy's resupply.
I mean, when Thunder gives you lessons, right? The commander lesson is like, he says, I don't care what you do. You go in their base and you stay there and you do not leave no matter what.
Yeah.
I remember one of the lessons he gave was like, just stay. He told a new player, super new player. Yeah. He was like, just go sit in the enemy base and don't leave. And yeah, that player did. They sat there.
Yeah, I think that's more as a distraction, so he could sit outside the base and farm points. But yeah.
But the point still stands. The general message still stands of, like, if you sit in their base, right, and ideally you have 2 scouts, 1 in red and 1 in green, and you scatter them out, then, like, if you do not have a base, like, that arena's very small. Like, if you don't have, like, a fortified position and you scatter, all the team needs to do is have 1 or 2 people set up in ideal locations, and then the rest is kind of move around a little bit to intercept you, and you're donezo. You're gone. 8 seconds is not enough time. Like, you're cooked, essentially.
But then you can also, do more your route where you're just farming points and you kind of push the enemy into their own base and kind of keep them there, and almost like suffocate them in that way. Like, that also can work. But
I think that while the aggression is probably more effective, I do think it's more fun and satisfying to do exactly what you said, push them back, and to sit at, like, red base or something, and just have a gun pointed right down at them as the commander comes in, and you just harass them. You just
all St. George players,
you just carry them.
They can all attest to being in that situation where you're on the receiving end of the control game. It sucks. It feels
unwinnable.
It feels awful.
It's the most unfun thing. It's worse than just like running around the whole arena, because at least you're moving and you're kind of having fun. Whereas
but
the other
everyone
way,
is in the base, and you're all. It's over.
Yeah. No, that's true.
No, it's fun. And then you walk out, and it's like 15,000 points, and then like 9,000 points, and like 7,000, 7,000, 6,000, 4,000.
And then I don't know. I've only played in Detroit once, but Detroit's so big where it's like Detroit's. I wish you guys had been there, because Detroit is legitimately such just a huge arena. You don't play in like 70% of it most of the game. That's how big it is. Because like you just go upstairs. You only go downstairs if you like get pushed downstairs, which doesn't happen super often, because you and the enemy resupply like are so like that 2 resupply are so far away from each other. It's crazy. You can kind of see each other still, and you can sometimes get shots across.
I feel like it's a different kind of game, and it's a game I want to learn how to play. I would love to like learn Space Marines, the more 15-minute timer versus the elimination.
Yeah. And I think it's also why Tandwood did so well, like I mentioned earlier in that arena, because it's the top floor is just a couple hallways with a bunch of like 10-foot like half walls. And so because Tando's so good at that, he naturally was just so good in Detroit. He's so good at playing that game of move to this wall, shoot this guy, backtrack, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I feel like him and also Tragedy, when the very first time I played against Tragedy in that arena from Brisbane, he destroyed me just how he moved. Not even because he just outshoot me. Literally, he would move like the backtrack and all that stuff to move me in such a way that like I couldn't do anything. I was like, I can't like move and shoot anyone. Like, it legit felt like I was playing like chess against him. And he just was Grandmaster, and I was playing it I was like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
Checkmate.
Like, that's the only time I've ever felt that. I don't know, can you guys think of a player that like has kind of like impacted you and changed how you played?
I'm gonna be so honest. I will collect advice and like ideas, but I don't outright try to emulate any player.
No, that's fair. Well,
like you mentioned,
emulate, but like
I was like, you said that, and I was not like really expecting that at all, because I just don't really.
Well, yeah.
I just don't really have opportunities to watch him play, so I feel like it's just like convergent evolution. Like, we both just kind of happen to play like this.
No, exactly. It's like you didn't try to emulate him, but your play style's just similar.
Yeah.
It is. We can do.
I would say Caleb, but I honestly have no idea what he even does. Oh yeah, okay. Smash or pass.
Smash or pass. Laser tag community players.
All right. I mean, we know for sure Meds is listening. Shout out to
True.
Meds.
Shout
Meds
out.
is
Shout
our
out, Meds.
most loyal subscriber.
All right, let's hit it. We're starting
True
the
triple
segment with
tapper.
that. Meds is a
All
true
right.
one, real one.
A
Would
triple
triple tap.
tapper. We salute you. Wait, let's give him the triple tap salute. And triple tap, triple tap, triple tap.
Oh.
Good job. All right. We're keeping that in, Logan. As the host, I order you to keep that in.
All right, let's start on our
Keep up
topic,
what you
fellas.
All right.
How do we
On
tell?
to the next topic. We are going to talk about other players' play styles, specifically from other sites, what we noticed playing with them, and whether or not we want to, have sex with them.
To start with that one,
I couldn't remember what else. I started the sentence not knowing how I was going to end it, and
All right.
which again is like
Right,
a
I
heavy
thought
in the
we were-
tournament.
So I thought we were going to talk about like. Dude, I'm so lost.
yeah, we were going to
I
talk
thought-
about
I
how to
was just-
tell if
I
you
was
were
just speaking my
improving.
mind.
Completely different.
You could cut all that, honestly.
We were supposed
Yeah,
to talk about
how the players influence us. What?
how to tell if you're improving.
What are we? Oh,
Yeah.
we're talking about how to tell for improving. I was not on that.
I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what is?
Okay,
I
well,
thought
my
we were
bad.
too.
That one's on me. That one, I will admit
that's
that
funny.
that one's on me. I thought we were
Dude,
analyzing
what
other
would be
players.
so funny is if you kept that in, but we like bleep out his name so nobody knows who we were
Oh, that
talking
would be
about.
so funny. We should do that.
Blooper reel, baby.
That would be pretty funny. And none of you fuckers will know. You might have to cover his like mouth by
Yeah.
the black bar. I don't know.
That would be funny.
Anyways,
Yeah, that player's
how
a
did
stinky pig, and they should. I don't know.
anyways?
Wanna
They
finish that
should
thought?
go
Next-
enjoy the rest of their life because they
All
deserve
right.
it.
All right. Next, we're going to talk about how to tell if you are improving as a player, because despite what the MVP score will say, it is not the end all be all, and this is not the hottest take, right? It's a topic of debate in the community. MVP points, what should go into it, what does it truly mean, and while it is a decent indicator, it is not the end all be all of improvement.
Really true. How do you tell
Yeah.
if you're improving, Rockwood? You want to lay some
Well,
insight on us?
I'm so glad you asked, because personally, in my experience, now bear in mind, out of the three of us, I am the baby boy, both in terms of age and experience. I notice that how I can tell I'm improving is I understand more of the game, right? I'm in the arena and I'm actively playing, and it's like you start to develop like a sixth sense of like what you should or shouldn't be doing, or what options are open or available, and it kind of opens it up more. Like, say for instance, a new player you play in, right? You just see an enemy player and you pull the trigger and shoot them before they shoot you, and you kind of wander around the arena just kind of doing that until your team either wins or you die. Versus the more you play, you start to think about the situations you're in, and not only do you win, right? Like, you can get better and still lose all the time. What matters is you understand how or why you're losing or why you're winning, what you can do better, what you are doing, and why it works, right? This is, you can tell because when you're in the game, right? Like, you can form objectives in your mind. Like, what is going on right now? For example, you're in the game and you've been playing for about 4 minutes, right? And you've been mostly out of the base, holding ground, but your lives are fine, right? Like, you're not like very full, but you're not like critical either, right? A newbie player would just look at their screen, see their lives are fine, and think, great, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I think it's working. Versus, and I'm sure you two already know this is going, you think, all right, we have control, I'm getting low on lives, I'm going to go get some more because the enemy hasn't nuked yet, right? Like, they're going to nuke soon, and you want to get filled up on lives for that. Just kind of things like that. You're more aware of the game, what other people are doing. Like, for example, you go back to get resupplied and everyone's out of the base, right? Lots of new players get very anxious about resupplies. They're like, okay, if I'm, like these people are shouting me to get out of the base constantly, I'll just take like a refill or two and get out. But if there's no pressure, like if you have map control, like fill up, I would argue.
Yeah, so what you're saying
I
is
know
the marker of a improvement is awareness of the overall game. Like awareness of the macro game.
Yeah, and yes, you go from micro to macro gameplay. You start to think about the future, right? What's the game going to look like 10, 15 seconds, 1 minute down, down the line? And what can I do? What should I be doing to either help my team or score points or whatever? It's just general awareness like that. And it starts to happen more intuitively. Like you don't even need to. Like it's good to stop and think, but the longer you play, like Dallin was saying earlier about his play style, about how he just kind of, it's all instinctual. Like the more you play, the more it kind of gets burned into your brain and you get wired with these habits. Of course, it's not to say you should play purely off instinct, because at that point you're an animal and, you're going to make mistakes or miss out on things. So it's important to keep an open mind. But when you improve, you will feel your instincts kind of kicking in, your game sense. You'll develop a game sense and you're kind of more aware of these things.
I would agree with that, because a thought I was having while you're talking was, how do you know if you're improving at Space Marines versus just improving at laser tag? There's a big difference between those two. And I feel like if you just play regularly, you just improve at laser tag. That just naturally happens, And you'll see it with players, I can't tell you how many times, I'll be talking to someone about some other player that I haven't maybe seen in a while. They're like, oh, this player is so much better. Like, they're so much better at the game, like, blah, 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 blah. And then you play with them, and it's like, they're better at laser tag. Like, yeah, they keep their gun up, and their shots are a bit faster. But they're kind of worse at Space Marines, I think that's a very real thing, is there's a difference between just getting better at laser tag and getting better at Space Marines. And I think what you're saying, I would agree with on like awareness, the macro of the game. I think that's pretty true. Although you could also, I'd argue, develop a false sense of understanding the game.
Yeah, which is why I was saying, like, generally,
yeah.
it's not good to rely entirely on instincts, because if you go pure instinct, like you're saying, you're just playing laser tag, but you're playing Space Marines, and that requires active thought.
Right. Which like goes into the next thing of like, okay, so how do you get better at the understanding of the game? Because if you just play on autopilot, you won't.
Logan, do you have any input on how to improve in that sense?
So, are you talking about like thinking about the game at a macro level?
How do you improve Space Marines versus laser tag?
We've talked about the difference between like getting better at Space Marines as a game versus just like laser tag and better in like shots and stuff. But I think the important thing, and this goes with improving at anything in life, it's not, what do you need to do to improve? How do you do that thing?
Mm-hmm. I have two things to say, actually. So the first thing I'll say is about the macro game thing. I kind of want to know, like, the community's thoughts, if anyone's even still watching this. I did a lesson on habits and how habits improve your game, and at the end, I really hammered in, like, stopping and thinking about the situation that you're in the game. And I told the new players, like, literally stop and think about what's happening, because when you're a new player, you're so completely overwhelmed, you don't allow yourself time to think. So
it's an interesting environment.
I think that the way that you gain awareness is being aware that you need to gain awareness, as insane as that sounds.
Very philosophical.
100%.
And the second thing I have to say, even more than macro game, I think consistency is the mark of a good player. even more so than macro game. A player who's consistently scoring, no matter what, no matter in social games or in a tournament game, who has a consistently good performance, that is the mark of a true player, a good player.
I would also like to add, unless you have more to say.
I don't know. I was going to relate it to some like machine learning algorithm, because in machine learning, the more consistent
All right,
your program
buddy.
is, the
you've
better it
lost
is.
me
You
already.
finished
Yeah.
with you already finished your homework project. We're late enough as it is.
Oh, I could show that. I could show that to the stream, the predictor.
Okay, hey. Well, what's one moment though?
After this, maybe after this.
I have a. We can show the predictor in a minute. I was gonna say, my first thought, when Down asked, how to actively improve as a player, what you can do. My first thought was analyzing the games, right? Like when we went to Nats, like what did we do the second we got back to the house? And by we, I mean you guys, because you guys were on a different team than me. You guys
We
tuned
watched
into the stream
games, yeah.
and you watched your games.
Yeah.
You analyze your games. You watch them and you talk about them with other people. All right, bonus points if you're analyzing a game with someone who is like better than you, who really knows what they're doing, right? It's very important to get feedback. Like, you lose a game, okay, go back and find out why. What could you have done differently? What was your team doing? Were you not getting enough resupplies? Were you at, the bottom of the ramp when you should have been somewhere else? Was it, like, what is it? You can figure it out. Same thing about winning. It goes doubly for winning. If you win a game, that's great, dude. But if you don't know why you won the game, then it's a fluke, Once is a fluke, twice is a coincidence, 3 is a pattern. So if you can figure out why you're winning games and then how to apply it or change it or alter it, depending on who you're facing, then that's how you're going to improve, I would say.
Yeah, no, that's right.
True.
My personal belief, and you kind of have to be playing consistency, which not a lot of people nowadays have a site to do this. But in my personal experience, when I've improved the most has been when I'm trying to improve at a specific thing. And I go into every single game focused on that thing. Even if it means some other aspects of how I play and stuff kind of suffer a little bit. Obviously, you don't want it to drop too much because then you're learning bad habits. But, I mean, a big thing for me for a while now has been like hit diff. I think hit diff is a little overrated personally. I feel like the trend the last few years has been like, oh, MVP's not as important, and like a player with a great hit diff, like that's what makes them like, that's a mark of a great player. And to an extent, I agree. I think it's a bit overrated, but regardless of that, I've still been trying to improve on my hit diff of just like not getting shot when I don't need to at dumb times. Even if it's just like a random shot from a scout, that really doesn't matter. It's like, for me, it's like just fine-tune. I'm at the point where it's like I have to fine-tune things now if I want to get better, like really fine-tune things. Versus someone who has half my experience, their thing, like let's go with you, Logan. I feel like the biggest thing you've gotten the whole time you've been playing has been like, hey, you need to move around less, and move more smart. And like Bolton, the thing we've been talking about one-on-one recently for you, because you've been asking me how to improve, which is also another way to improve, is asking people who are, better than you, or even people who are your equal, like, because they have a different opinion. They watch you play unbiased from your own ego, is how can I get better? Bolton, the thing I've been giving you, I think we talked about already, was like, focus. You're getting to the point where you're getting really good. And I think I told you like the 2 most important things in SM5, like once you reach a certain point to be like top tier, is you have to be really good at finding resets and really smart about when you go get your resupplies. And that's the thing we kind of talked about for you, is like, go look for those resets, be
Getting some R&R resets
be
and
hungry
resupplies.
for those resets, It's like I was saying, it's like I will literally chase someone across our arena. Granted, our arena is pretty small and this won't work in the majority of arenas, but I will chase, if I'm heavy, I will chase that enemy commander across the entire arena if it means I can keep him down again after he tries to get in my base. I shoot him as he's running in. I shoot either, if there's someone nearby I can shoot, great. If not, cool. I shoot the target. You know, especially like I do this blue and yellow base. They run up because both bases, you come in, there's two sides, two ways to get in. They come up one side, you trade with them or you put them down as heavy. They have to run back, you know, usually, or maybe they run across and out the other way. Cool. I can run the way they didn't go and loop around, get a reset, and shoot them again, and then run into my base on the side they're on, and then, you know, they can't run up that way after me, because cool, I will, if I need to, I will reset my ammo and put you down again. And cool, I just got 300 points and you've lost 3 lives. Like that, I do that. When I play heavy, that's what I do constantly. It's, you know, it's finding little things like that, just the resets. And then also, like we mentioned, going where you need to go, you know? Okay, cool. The enemy heavy's out of the enemy base. The resupplies are vulnerable, but the enemy commander and scouts, the 3 of them are over here. If I can reset all those people, I can go over there, reset them for days, get 1,000 points in 10 seconds. That's amazing, you know? Yeah, exactly. Oh, someone's calling me. Am I being loud? No. It's Tandor.
No way.
Have you watched
on stream,
on
air.
Play video games. No,
air.
we've been playing a video game recently. Probably hopping back on, but
well, yeah, no, beautifully put. And
sorry,
yeah,
I kind of rambled, but
no, honestly, it was good stuff. It was really good stuff. Yeah, like it's important to note, even if you're playing games where, like, we're kind of in a silly conundrum where we give, you know, new players and world champions all the same thing. Even if you're losing, like it's important, like Snuffles is saying, to focus on one thing to improve. Because even if you are losing over and over again, if you're focusing on improving something that isn't tied to win or loss condition, like, you know, you can focus on points, and sure, like it'll be much harder to get points if you're on the losing side versus on the winning side. But if you focus on habits, like Metalface is saying, you know, on drilling habits, stopping and thinking about the game, and then fine-tuning it, like Snuffles is saying, then you'll still find ways to improve. Simple as.
Improve, get better.
Yeah, get better, get good. It's also important to note that improving is not always just you focus on a topic, you play a few games, and you learn, you know, you earn a new skill, slap that on your utility belt of earned skills, move on to the next thing, you're getting better. Sometimes it's long and slow and arduous, and some things you'll be better at than others. Like, you know, some things you'll just naturally be better at than others. And some things, you know, other players, like, for example, like trading, like Snuffles is really good at trading.
Which is funny you say that, because I feel like for the longest time that was something I wasn't good at, was trading. And that's something leading up to Nats last year, you know, besides the hit diff, I was focusing on getting better at trading. That was my number one focus, because going into that tournament, it's like, okay, I'm playing heavy in Loveland on the 3rd floor, where it's a one-way floor, and, you know, trading against the enemy heavy, that's super important. That's something I'm not good at. I'm more better at, say, playing on the 2nd floor, where I can run around and maneuver and I have options. Loveland 3rd floor, you don't have options. And I'm going against Mischief, who, you know, home arena, guess what? He won freaking MVP at Nats, shocker. He was really good. And Kodama, who's one of his best things is trading. And so I'm like, okay, if I don't get better at this, I'm going to lose my team the game. Just me alone. You know?
See, and then if you lose a trade against someone like Snuffles, it's important to remember, like, don't get discouraged. Like, if you keep losing it, like, yeah, look at what he went through to get better at trading. Of course you're going to lose against him. like
Play
majority of
Loveland
the time when
heavy.
you trade. Don't get discouraged,
And I
right?
meant
Like
to kind
you,
of talk about that when you guys were
you-
talking about it, but
yeah, like
keep
you
trading.
don't
Keep
know
trying to
who you're,
trade me.
yeah, like no, I'm saying is like don't get discouraged. Like if someone is clearly better at you than something, like you don't
Cool.
like they worked for it, you know, chances are, and maybe even they're naturally good at it. That's fine because you are going to be, you know, as a human being, everyone has strengths and weaknesses. You need to find out what your strengths are, and it's important to recognize what your weaknesses are and improve on them. But don't get discouraged if someone's strength happens to be your weakness. Like that's not a sign that like you're just a terrible player and like they're just better than you. They're just born that way, and you know, sucks to suck. Like
You can't change.
it's just yeah, you can change, and even if you work just as hard as Snuffles and you get put in the same scenarios and you're still not as good, like that's okay because you know that's one thing. There are hundreds of things you can improve on. So like if you know if you're not improving at that, then that's fine because you know maybe you can be better at pathing, or maybe you can have a better game sense, or maybe you're cut out to be a better resupply, and it turns out that you're you know maybe you're not the best at trading, but you are excellent at knowing when to reset shields and you know where to set up as resupply. Like that's the beauty. That's the real beauty of Space Marines 5 is that you know you could if you have a play style like you can find a viable way to cater towards it. Like if you throw me on a commander game against Metalface, like chances are
You're
he's
gonna
gonna do better
lose.
than I am
I'll kill
because
you.
he'll kill me in the game, right?
In about a minute, yes.
In real life, no. But that's fine because Metalface is more aggressive and he's more used to that kind of stuff versus throw me as a scout against, you know, Metalface as a scout. And sure, we're going to duel it out a lot, but I'm more used to, you know, scurrying around and finding those hidden angles and hitting him from the back.
You have a rat phenotype
And-
for sure.
Yeah, I'm rat
think so,
phenotype.
yeah.
Like, and he has to resort to little insults to feel better about himself.
I'm
But
just trying to spice it up, you know.
no, I get it. I'm messing with you. It's apples and oranges sometimes. It's apples and oranges. You got to find out what you're good at and expand on that.
So true. Thank
would-
you, Rockwood, for this
Is my
insight.
I guess is my insight. Rockwood's insight.
All right, close us out, Rockwood, Mr. Host.
All right. Well, fellas, it is that time of the podcast again where we have to end it. So, as always, thank you everyone for listening in and making it all the way this far. If you did, then we'll do the official triple tap salute to you. Triple tap,
Made it till
triple
the
tap,
end.
triple tap.
That was on the spot, by the way.
Triple tap in the comments.
Speaking of triple tap, make sure to triple tap that subscribe button, triple tap that like button. Make sure to share it with all your friends and family. Post it on Facebook. Share it to the Laser Force events page. I'm just kidding. Don't actually do that. We already did that, and I think that's enough.
You should text it to your grandma
yeah.
personally.
Text it to your grandma.
You should hack into your local sports bar and play it on their TVs.
True.
Yeah.
True.
No, find a QR code, links to this video, and post it up around town everywhere. It says missing dog. Yes, we were very sorry about the delay. I was in Hawaii last week, so we didn't really get around to recording until a little while. But we're here now. We were here now because we're ending it now. Any last words, you goobers?
I hope you guys see me in your dreams.
All right, Dream Visitor Metal Face.
Like, what kind of dreams are we talking about?
Whatever kind you want.
Sounds like consent to me.
Anyways, this episode has been a doozy to record. And
We've been
there have
going
been
for
many-
like 3 hours.
There have been many false starts, so I
Oh.
hope you guys enjoy the blooper reel that is Metal Face is so kindly going to put at the very end of this after we all say goodbye, right, Metal Face?
I have finals next week, man.
Cue the blooper reel.
Okay.
Logan, do the
Okay,
finger
that's
guns so we
good.
can do a
Fine.
thumbnail. All right.
Blooper reel. Give it.
Tune in next time where we'll show off Metal Face's new AI algorithm that can predict the outcome of laser tag games.
Those
More
are
on
strong.
that
Predict?
next episode.
Maybe not. Strong words.
Well,
I have bad news for you on that.
on what? I was in my element. I was about to.
Oh, sorry. I was talking to Logan.
What do you mean?
All right. Well,
why?
I think Maniac's kind of already created something like that. It's
Mine's
not fully
cooler.
done, but
No, mine's cooler.
Fighting words.
Probably not.
anyways, thank you for
For
tuning
reals.
into Triple Tap. As always, I've been your host, Rockwood. And see you guys next time.
Goodbye. Well, not coming back.
Bolton died.
Okay, hold on.
Say
I love this episode, but I feel like our last episode, like our first episode, was like a 10 out of 10. This one's like a 5 out of 10. Entertainment wise. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I guess I'm thinking of entertainment wise. I think we're actually dropping some like massive. Like I wasn't expecting it to be this deep.
I'm not sure what you expected.
Ignore what I'm saying. Just ignore that. Ignore that.
Okay.
I'm tweaking. This is exactly what I expected. I don't know what I'm blabbering on about. I'm gonna be so honest. Like I'm just talking. Logan, you look like a baby. Like the baby signs.
Yeah, with
like
your big bushy
up.
beard. Okay, with your hair like that.
Okay, wait. Yeah. We have to leave that in.